Hi, this is Max from JSoft, and welcome to this update series we're doing. In this series, the goal is to showcase our upcoming features for Sales CRM, our automation-powered CRM for Jira. So we'll go over the roadmap to explain what we'll be working on in the future, the use cases that we want to tackle, a rough ETA for these features, and the overall picture of where we want Sales CRM to be. If you're not too familiar with us, JSoft is an Atlassian marketplace vendor with more than 10 apps published on the Atlassian marketplace, with our latest app being Sales CRM, and that is also going to be the focus of our roadmap update. As a disclaimer, please keep in mind that this is still fairly early in the process, and as a result, the features, the timing, and the mockups can and will change as we work on them more. You can also influence where we're heading by letting us know what you would like to see in Sales CRM. So here's our general outline for the next few months. We'll go over them in more details in just a moment. We recently pushed out the HubSpot integration and GSM 2.0 integration. You can check out our other videos and latest documentation for more information about them. If we look more in the future, we'll be working on the following: Gmail and Outlook integration phase 1, MailChimp integration. Hi, this is Editor Max, later in the future, and I just want to let you guys know that the MailChimp integration is actually out now. So while the information in this video is quite interesting in terms of letting you understand where our heads are at, you can actually go on the tool right now and try it out. That's all. Enjoy the rest of the video. Bye-bye. And data manipulation phase 1. With these features keeping us busy for the foreseeable future, let's have a deep dive into them to give you a better understanding of what we want to achieve. So for the Gmail and Outlook integration phase 1, we're currently working on these two integrations as we speak and should expect to have them shipped together fairly soon. For phase 1, we want to allow users to send emails to their contacts directly in Jira. The idea is to not have to leave Jira in order to get in touch with your clients and to be able to track the emails that you send in the Activity tab. That way, Sales CRM will be able to provide an even better picture of what's going on. As of now, we're thinking of creating a space in the activity field where you can add an email to send. This is roughly similar to well-known CRMs that have the ability to add specific type of activities like notes, emails, tasks, and so on. As you can see, the scope of the integration is fairly straightforward, but that's on purpose. We might, at a later stage in time, consider doing phase 2, which will be able to grab emails and conversations from your team's inbox and automatically populate it in the activity stream of the contact and accounts. This will require us to create some sort of Chrome extension to be able to capture the data, so we'll be assessing this feature at a later time, but definitely something we might want to explore. So for data manipulation phase 1, this refers to the ease of exporting and importing the data. For the data import, we understand that some users will want to migrate from one CRM to another and want to bring their contacts with them, especially when initially starting off. For this, we'll most likely be following the standard practice, which is to have users populate a template in order to bulk import that information in Sales CRM. For the data export, we're also aware that in many situations, Sales CRM will act as a middleman to the true CRM that the bulk of the client-facing departments of the company uses. As a result, it's important to be able to automatically export the changes made in Sales CRM and the data. We expect to achieve this through the use of APIs. This way, users will be able to pull the data directly from Sales CRM and push it automatically to their own tool. The other benefit of creating APIs is to have the possibility of integrating with their stack of tools, even if we haven't created that specific integration. That way, the use cases of our tool will become exponential. For phase 2 of that one, we should expect quality of life improvements to these features that are still to be determined. So where are we heading after that? So Q2 of 2024 is already quite busy, but there's a lot that might come after that. Currently, the following are the features that we'll be researching more in order to fuel our growth. Note that these ideas change, but here's what we have in mind for now with no particular release date or timeline in mind. So we have the improvements to the activity feeds, so meeting notes, calls, etc. This is essentially taking standard practice in CRMs and applying it to Sales CRM. We'll most definitely do it as it's what people expect to be able to do in their CRMs, and it's actually quite useful. Phase 2 for Gmail and Outlook integration, so get email conversation in Sales CRM. We like this idea a lot because the more interaction points we're able to capture in Sales CRM, the more useful the app becomes. This integration will require a lot of work and thinking from our part, but it is definitely something we know will add a lot of value for users. Phase 2 of APIs, which would be to add more APIs, of course, but we'll have to do phase 1 and get some feedback before doing phase 2, realistically. There's the integration with Calendly. The logic behind this integration is the same as for HubSpot. Calendly is a popular booking software, so it makes sense to extend our integration to that one, since we know the HubSpot calendar integration works very well for us. And this would arguably not require too much, because the logic would be identical to HubSpot. Famous last words, I know. There's the phase 2 for HubSpot, so that would be more bi-directional integration for contacts, companies, and activities. So the idea is to extend the integration beyond just calendar meetings and essentially just make Sales CRM able to export or import data directly from HubSpot. That way, if Sales CRM is just a secondary CRM, it will be able to transfer all the relevant Jira customer data to the main tool for the client-facing teams. Super useful, and considering the popularity of HubSpot tools in Atlassian, it is very well worth looking into. Confluence integration as a tool. This would be more of a new app where we could display widgets and information in Confluence. This could be useful for reporting and cataloging purposes, and looking at the market, it seems that there is quite a niche for this type of tool, so it might be worth looking into. Phase 2 for goals means improved reporting and goal tracking. Essentially, for client-facing teams where commission and bonuses might be part of the play, KPI tracking becomes extremely valuable and necessary. In phase 2, we would explore ways of better communicating the data and where we are in the goals. Phase 2 for reports and dashboards, where we want to improve the reporting experience and ability to export the data. We know for a fact that this is extremely important to managers and decision makers, so this is definitely something we want to look further into. Task reminders is a standard in CRMs as well. So it's the ability to be able to set yourself a task and a deadline or reminder for that task. We think, especially if users are to use Sales CRM further, that this feature could be a very good quality of life improvement. Then there's the LinkedIn integration tool. We know that some CRMs allow integration with LinkedIn to get client interactions from their team's LinkedIn. Again, this is in line with our mentality of integration and getting as much interaction as possible, and it could look fantastic to either get the data to Sales CRM or be able to push it to LinkedIn. And then in the same vein, we would have SMS and WhatsApp and Telegram integration. Nowadays, there's so many more channels that are being used to communicate and interact with clients. So we want to be able to provide these integrations to either communicate or to capture the integrations made in those channels. Finally, the WordPress and Elementor form integration would be a way to capture leads coming from your website. This is another way we have of capturing client data in Sales CRM and trying to aggregate everything in a single view. There's no real timeline for these features, but we can definitely prioritize some based on your feedback. So if you need something for your Sales CRM to work with your processes, do let us know. These potential features that we listed today, we could pick a mix of some for Q3 and beyond. That is something for another video once we get closer to these dates. I hope that the information shared today clearly communicated our future ambitions. And in the meantime, if you'd like to try our app, you can absolutely do so on the Atlassian marketplace and get a 30-day trial for free. We're back to work for now, so take it easy. Bye-bye.